Hey guys, how's it going? It's Daniel here, and right now I'm exploring Barcelona. And this city is just so full of interesting stuff. Literally every street bursts with something cool, but today I'm thinking about just one location. It's actually a construction, it's a building, and it's considered to be one of the most important buildings of the previous century. And you may ask, hey Daniel, is this going to be just another video about Sagrada Familia? No, it's not. The construction I'm talking about is way much bigger. Let me just show it to you. Well, I kind of understand your frustration. I just said that that little thing is bigger than Sagrada Familia when in fact you don't see it from the space, you don't see it from every corner in the city like you do with Sagrada Familia, but I meant something else. I meant the impact that building had on the world of architecture and the look of the cities that we currently live in, and believe me, you can't really overestimate it. So stay with me and I will tell you exactly why. And before moving forward with the story, here's the thing to consider about Barcelona. It has become this popular only recently, like 30 years ago. Before that, the city was kind of in a shadow of Madrid and other European cities. And two events that changed things are 1992 Olympic Games and 1929 Exposition. And about the last one, we are going to talk in details. So what is the Expo? The Expo is an event that occurs every year since 1851. They first had it in London, and after that they run these events in every major city of the world like New York, Chicago, Paris, Dubai, and in 1929 in Barcelona. Basically, the idea of the show is that every country participant comes to this show and shares its latest achievements in technology, architecture, or for example culture. By the way, for example, the Eiffel Tower was actually built purposefully for such an event in Paris in 1889, and it served as the entrance gate to the event. Usually every country has its own pavilion, and inside of those pavilions they store the exhibits. But in case with Germany in 1929, they decided to do it a bit different. They decided to send one of the best architects, Mies van der Rohe, 43 at that time, to build the pavilion and to make the pavilion the exhibit itself. Mies van der Rohe is a true legend in the world of architecture, and during his life he came up with two principles that are very famous right now and being used by many architects from all over the world. These principles are the less is more and the God is in the details. Mies van der Rohe believed that the less clutter you have in your designs, the better and more sophisticated and visually appealing they are. And of course, the part about the details means you have to pay attention to every little detail in your designs. And he came up with this. The look of the building was absolutely different from the rest of the buildings of that era. Just look at these pictures. These buildings, they are not comparable. It's like day and night. Yet people were not too much excited about this building and they demolished it. Okay, so that was actually a joke. People liked the design of the building, especially the community of architects. They praised and they admired the work of Ludwig Mies van der Rohe. However, the pavilion was still dismantled, and the primary reason for that is that it was not meant to last. It was a temporary construction, but at the same time, lots and lots of pictures of that pavilion were taken, and during the next 50 years, these pictures were circulating in a community of architects, and people were talking about this building. They were examining it, and they came to a conclusion that that building is super important for their modernist architecture. When you look at all of these modern buildings like skyscrapers, office buildings, libraries, and even private homes, you see something in common, and what they have in common are the principles, and these principles, they were put together while designing and building this little pavilion in Barcelona. So that's why after 50 years, two Spanish architects, they decided to start pushing the agenda that this building has to be restored, rebuilt, reconstructed. And then in 1986, they built this copy of that building, and it almost matches the original one.
So you may wonder, what is this so special about this place? When you come and see it for the first time, it may appear to you simple and maybe even primitive, but believe me, that's not the case.
I will try to break down the design of this building into several key moments and discuss them in details. When you're looking at this building for the first time, you should immediately capture the extensive use of the straight lines.
Actually, the use of straight lines is probably the key element, one of the most important elements of this building, and later on this became the most important element of the modernist architecture at all.
The use of straight lines was a key element of the modernist design movement, which idea was to break away from traditional styles and create a more minimalist aesthetic.
Secondly, the materials. You don't find here too many materials, but all of them were hand-picked, and they were picked in such a way so that they work together.
Just look at these amazing patterns, and Mies van der Rohe thought about the function. He gave function to every material. The next key element of the building, and it's actually a hallmark of modernist design, is the roof.
It's completely flat. You definitely don't see it in other designs of that time, and it just floats about the building. It extends beyond the support. This is pretty cool, and this is pretty unique, and again, this was built 100 years ago.
And if you look at the building from the front, you will notice that it's kind of shifted. It's shifted to one side. It appears like it floats above the building, which is a pretty amazing technique he came up with.
This building is also equipped with two pools, but they are not for swimming. These are actually the reflection pools.
And the idea of these pools is to reflect the surroundings and to create a visual connection between the interior and exterior of the building. The use of these pools is a key element of the modernist design philosophy right now.
Another pretty significant element of this construction are doors. Actually, the absence of doors. This whole space was designed in such a way so that the space, it kind of continues to flow without any borders.
When you are in the building, you can actually feel how the boundaries between the interior and exterior are kind of blurred. In the beginning of the video, I said that Germany wanted to create a pavilion that is exhibit itself, and they didn't plan to store any objects inside, but that was excluding these chairs. These chairs are called Barcelona chairs, and they were designed by Mies van der Rohe in a collaboration with another talented designer, Lily Reich. They are still being produced, you can purchase them. One costs $8,000, yeah, pretty pricey thing, and they became the symbol of good taste and luxury. And you can actually find these chairs in lots of Hollywood movies. For example, James Bond, or American Psycho, or let's talk about this one, The Big Short, or this one is one of my favorites, TV show Better Call Saul. Here's Kim Wexler, he's sitting on these chairs next to Howard. Absolutely amazing show. So these chairs were specifically created for Spanish royal family. It was intended that when they come visit German pavilion, they can sit in these chairs and try them, but that never actually happened. Instead, you now can come to this place and try these $8,000 seats. And believe me, they are so comfortable.
So this building is all about being the manifesto for other designers. It kind of sets the rules, sets the principles that other designers, architects are using now, and you can see how this affected the look of our cities.
When you look at these skyscrapers, you probably can't say that Barcelona Pavilion did directly influence the design of them, because it was just a small one-story building. However, the pavilion's design principles, including its focus on clean lines, simple forms, and the use of modern materials, had a significant impact on the development of modernist architecture, which in turn affected the design of the skyscrapers and thus the look of the modern cities. The vision of Mies van der Rohe is totally brilliant and worth appreciation. That's why I think everyone who's coming to Barcelona should discover this very unique place and pay some respect to the legendary architect.
Hey guys, hope you liked the video. You know how it works. Thumbs up, subscriptions, comments, this all helps to run the channel, and see you next time.